Okay, we're through 2 weeks of the NFL already, and my excitement level's already through the roof, especially after all of those close matchups that we had last week. Man, this season is off to a great start. What's going on, guys? Diggs Report here, back to another video. Today we are talking about Week 3 in the NFL. We have 10 teams that are 0-2. We've had a lot of surprises. Let's get into these games. Okay, we have Miami taking on Buffalo. For Miami, they had a close matchup with New England, but they just could not pull out the win. They are 0-2 right now. Meanwhile, Buffalo looks like the best team in the NFC right now through the first 2 weeks. 2-0. Yeah, I'm going Buffalo on this one. They keep this up, I don't know who's going to stop them. Pittsburgh taking on New England. For Pittsburgh, defense is not looking too great, although the score from last week is kind of inflated after that terrible play on the kickoff. I still don't know how that happened. That is probably the biggest folly of the NFL already, and we're that early into the season. That was just insane. New England, meanwhile, picked up a win over division rival Miami. I don't think they're going to make it 2 in a row. Give me Pittsburgh. Raiders are taking on the Commanders. For the Commanders, Jaden Daniels got banged up in that loss Thursday night against Green Bay, and that was not a good game for them already. We don't know if he's going to be able to play. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, Monday night was just awful for them. Geno Smith throws 3 interceptions. Offense couldn't get anything going. The Chargers just looked so much better than they did Monday night. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Even with the questions about Daniels, I'm still going to go Washington over the Raiders on this one. Atlanta taking on Carolina. For Atlanta, finally, we see the team that I wanted to see this year, okay? If they play like they did Sunday night against Minnesota for the rest of the season, they have a great chance to win their division. Meanwhile, for Carolina, ugly first half, came back in the second, but it just wasn't enough against Arizona. They are 0-2 right now. Make it 0-3. Give me Atlanta. Green Bay taking on Cleveland. For Cleveland, they are 0-2. Defense is not looking too bad. I mean, they gave the Ravens a lot of fits in the first half. They just ran out of gas in the second. Meanwhile, Green Bay looks like one of the best teams in the NFL this year. Through those 2 games, yeah, they are just looking great. I can't really pick against them against the Browns, can I? No, I'm not going to. Give me Green Bay. Houston taking on Jacksonville. Jacksonville, they're 0-2, but really, they should have won against Cincinnati. They got hit with a controversial pass interference against Travis Hunter late in the game that set up the Cincinnati touchdown to put them in front for good. I don't think that should have been called. So, yeah, they're 0-2, but, man, they could easily be 1-1. Meanwhile, for Houston, they are 0-2 as well, and it's not looking good for them right now. They've got to pick things back up. I say it's Houston that gets back on track. They get the win against Jacksonville. Cincinnati takes on Minnesota. The bad news is Joe Burrow is out for 3 months, and J.J. McCarthy is not going to be able to play this week. So we have a battle of backup quarterbacks. Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz. Wait, Carson Wentz is now with the Vikings? When did that happen? Anyway, Cincinnati is 2-0, okay? And Browning is a very good backup quarterback. He is a very good backup quarterback. Look what he did when he was put into the game against Jacksonville. Able to lead them to a win. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, that team just looked overmatched on Sunday night against Atlanta. Not looking good right now. I am going to go with Cincinnati over Minnesota. Rams taking on the Eagles. For the Rams, it wasn't pretty against the Titans, but they came out with the win, and now they're 2-0. But the Eagles are also 2-0, and they're another team that just looks like one of the best teams in the NFL. Especially since they took down the Chiefs the way that they did. Great game against the Chiefs. Just a terrific game against them. I'm going to say it's the Eagles that start 3-0. Jets taking on the Buccaneers. For the Jets, not a good game against the Bills for them. Just really not. And I'm not even going to talk anymore about this. Just all of it was bad. Offense, defense, everything. Tampa Bay, they're 2-0. They're playing good football right now. Make it 3-0. Give me them over the Jets. Indianapolis is taking on Tennessee. For Tennessee, it's not a great start by Cam Ward, but at the end of the day, he doesn't have a lot around him, and he's still a rookie. Hopefully, we see improvement as the year goes on, and hopefully for Tennessee, somebody else steps up as well. Meanwhile, for the Colts, what the heck? How is Daniel Jones this good? I don't get it. I really don't get it. How is Daniel Jones this good? Were the Giants really that much of a mess? Wait, don't answer that. I already know the answer to that. Give me the Colts over the Titans on this one. Denver taking on the Chargers. For Denver, I cannot believe they lost that game. And the way that they did, that just should not have happened. That penalty on the first field goal attempt, that penalty doesn't happen. They beat the Colts, but instead they allowed the Colts to get another chance, and that's how they lost. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they're 2-0, playing good football. Give me the Chargers over the Broncos. Saints taking on the Seahawks. For the Seahawks, good win against the Steelers. That's exactly what they needed to get back on track. Now they're 1-1. Meanwhile, for the Saints, yeah, they're 0-2. Not looking great right now, but Spencer Bradley did have a pretty good game, so hopefully he can continue to put that together. Meanwhile, just give me the home team on this one. Give me the Seahawks. Dallas taking on Chicago. For Dallas, they escaped, okay? Let's just say it. They escaped with a win against the Giants, but they got the win. That's the important thing. That's more than I can say about Chicago, who has not had a win yet. And I don't think they're going to have a win this week. Give me the Cowboys. Arizona taking on San Francisco. For San Francisco, look, we know about the injuries. We know what's going on with them right now. Meanwhile, for Arizona, not the way you want to finish that game. They did end up with the win, but not the way you wanted to have that. As big of a lead and allowing Carolina to come back the way they did, they were lucky to escape with the win. I'm going to go with Arizona over San Francisco. You got to come out with the win with this one, Arizona. Kansas City taking on the New York Giants. Surprisingly, both of these teams are 0-2. But the Giants look pretty good against the Cowboys. They just couldn't come up with the win in overtime. The worst time to throw the interception, and that's what happened to them. Russell Wilson with that interception in overtime that helped the Cowboys set up the game-winning field goal. But again, that's a good thing to see from them. But now you get the Kansas City Chiefs, who are also 0-2, and they're going to be doing everything they can to get a win. This seems like the perfect get-right game for them. I'm going to go Kansas City over the Giants. And our Monday night game is going to be Detroit taking on Baltimore. Both of these teams just had games that they absolutely needed to have after the disappointment of Week 1. For the Lions, they just dominated the Bears. I mean, they scored 52 points on them when it looked like it was going to be a back-and-forth matchup, and then the Lions just took over that game. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, it was an ugly first half for them. However, they took the lead, they never faltered, and that second half, they just put the game out of reach. That's exactly what you want to see from them. And Lamar, he's just playing great. And then also for the Lions, Jared Goff, okay, he was amazing last week. So for this game, it's a tough one, but I am going to go with the Lions over the Ravens. I think they're slightly better than Baltimore right now. Alright guys, those are my thoughts on Week 3. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Also, let me know which 0-2 team is going to be the last to get their first win, and which 2-0 team is going to be the last to lose a game. I want to know what you guys think. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.